Hey everybody, it's Gary Lucas. I'm here to play for you on Thursday, December 10th. And it's a beautiful day here in the West Village of New York. Sun is streaming through the windows, Mr. Blue Sky. And I got Caroline in the house with Lulu. And yes, we're having a good time on this sunny day because yesterday was so miserable. But let's get right down to it. Yeah, a little bit of She's a Rainbow by the Rolling Stones, just about my favorite group. And what can I say? Before that, a little bit of a original piece called The Opener of the Way that was on a record I did for John Zorn's Tzaddik label called Street of Lost Brothers. And some other stuff thrown in between. I can't really think faster than I can play, so... And then after I play, it's gone. But I wanted to say, I want to congratulate my old friend Mike Barnes on getting nominated and making all these Best of the Year lists for this great book of his called A New Day Yesterday, which was the title of the first song on Jethro Tull's stand-up album. And it's all about UK progressive rock in the 1970s. And it's told from the inside because Mike was a young music fan and went to all of these seminal gigs, as did I when I had a chance before I got to England. I tried to see as much English rock as possible, starting with the Rolling Stones in 65. They wouldn't really qualify as prog rock, except maybe for the Satanic Majesties album. But anyway, it started a lifelong love of British rock for me. And Mike, in the writing of this book, actually describes trying to recreate the psychic experience of witnessing this for the first time, insofar as I think he smoked a lot of pot and took various substances here and there to kind of re-ingest all this stuff and process it anew to discover what made it tick in his mind and why it so intrigued him back in the day. So it's really a great book. It's an exhaustive account of so many bands, some of my favorites. King Crimson really get a great treatment in there. And I was pretty much a very big fan of theirs for the first several records, actually. And pretty much anybody else you can name. And he talks about stuff that kind of overlapped with the prog era. Maybe my favorite, I guess if you needed a descriptive catch-all, I'd say the psychedelic rock experience, particularly bands like Family and The Nice, and stuff that was right on the cusp of full-on prog. Pink Floyd with Syd Barrett, for instance. So you should definitely get a hold of this book. I don't know if it's out in America yet, but it should get a release here. I'm sure there'd be a lot of fans for it. And I can also recommend for the holidays, well, many of the books I've been talking about, I'm enjoying them so much. But I want to give a shout out to a great rare bookstore in the West Village. If you're in New York, go to and check out the store called Left Bank Books, which is on Perry Street, right next to the townhouse that used to belong to Sir Mick Jagger and then Chris Blackwell and then Richard Branson, Sir Richard Branson. I know it well because I went there back in the late 70s when Virgin Records America occupied the premises and met Richard Branson there and did some freelance work writing copy and doing radio spots for a host of their product. At that time, I know I worked on Magazine's album Second Day Light, I think was the title, and The Records and The Flying Lizards, which my friend Vivian Goldman was part of. They had a lot of good music coming out. And then, of course, Captain Beefheart, when I would join Beefheart, I took Don there and we met their marketing team, and that's another story. But speaking of Beefheart, there is a beautiful piece quoting many former Magic Band members, including myself, in the latest issue of Uncut, which I just got sent a PDF of. I'll try and post the article later. I have a Scottish friend named Nulsh. He's a great cartoonist who always does delightful birthday cards for me. And Nulsh just sent me this thing over, and it's really good. And thank you, because they give a plug for my upcoming album, The Essential Gary Lucas, which is out January 29th on Knitting Factory Records. But getting back to Left Bank Books, if you're in town, go there, man. It's like, let's see, the Virgin Mansion, the Branson Jagger townhouse, is 43 Perry Street, I believe. It's right next door on the way to 7th Avenue if you're heading east. And go say hi to the owner, Eric, who's a great guy, and actually stepbrother of Steve Wynn from the great psychedelic band Dream Syndicate, as it turns out. And you can pick up all sorts of bargains. There's, they have expensive rare books, but they have little gems like this, which you can pick up for a song. Now, here is the first English paperback edition of John W. Campbell's classic, The Thing, originally titled The Thing from Outer Space. John Campbell, besides being the editor of, I think it was Amazing Science Fiction magazine, which became Analog magazine, wrote some terrifying short stories under a pseudonym, Don A. Stewart. And one of them is The Thing, which was published in 1938. And of course, many people know, there's a current remake, which is like a prequel. I haven't seen it. But before that, there's this great one featuring Kurt Russell that John Carpenter did. But the granddaddy of them all is the 1951 The Thing from Another World with James Arness as the vegetable man monster, to reference Syd Barrett there. So here's the first English paperback. Now, I picked this up for $15, man. And it's published in 1966 with this beautiful cover. I guess it's going to be read backwards here. And while I'm there, also, the name of the original story, The Thing, is Who Goes There? So now I will thoroughly recommend Jeffrey O'Brien, my friend Jeffrey O'Brien's new book of poetry of the same title, although missing the question mark in the title. And I think I've mentioned it before. Jeffrey is a great writer about literature, opera, music, cinema. You can't go wrong. He writes extensively for the New York Review of Books. And he's a great guy. And he's a fine poet. And some of the poets in the past, some of his poetry has referenced great obscure horror films, such as Night Caller from Outer Space. He has one poem based on that title, which is a very cool B movie. Anyway, check out Mike Barnes and Jeffrey O'Brien and Left Bank Books, man, because you will pick up some treasures. Now, for years there was the Gotham Bookmark uptown on 44th Street off 6th Avenue who had a little shingle in the winter. Wise men fish here. Well, you could shift this to Left Bank Books. They should have a similar shingle. Shingle. Captain Beefheart used to describe his real name is Don Van Vliet, as the shingle that gave me shingles, which is funny but not so funny considering that he eventually fell to Parkinson's disease, which is an offshoot of this nervous condition. But anyway. Let's get this in a more palatable tuning here. I think I'm going to pay a visit soon to my friend Rick Kelly at Carmine Street Guitars. I got this thing looked at in the shop. You know, these old guitars, this is from 1941. They need fairly regular care and feeding and tweaking to stay in tune, among other things, especially with the way I played these things. Okay, that's better. Yeah, definitely time for a new set of strings. I think also next time I'll go back into electric mode, although I've had a little bit of problem with my old GK250ML, which is a lunchbox-sized amp. I loved it because it's so compact, it weighs a ton. Because it started to hum and it sounds like a speaker is blown or ripped, and I don't know. I'm thinking of replacing it, and there's a guy selling one on eBay without any guarantee of return in case it blows up. Nothing, and I'm not really apt to make such an investment without some kind of assurances or a guarantee. So I don't know. I would call into Sweetwater. They're very nice people over here. I was recommended to a fellow over there who might hit me to new compact amps, because I don't really have any room left. This house is so crammed full of stuff. Plus we have our little doggy walking through it, and there she goes. She's digging away on the floor over there. All right, I don't know what to say about what's going on in Washington. I'm sort of keeping away today for the moment, but I think that this move from the guy in Texas who's under indictment, what a dubious character, to lead 18 other fellow attorney generals of 18 states in an amicus brief, also joined by Trump, to overthrow a democratic election is about the worst thing that's ever happened in this country. Enough said. It's the antithesis of democracy, and it is so heinous. But the fact that something like 80% of Republicans are not speaking up about this is just disgusting to me. It's like a subversion of democracy, and it's cowardice on the part of these people, because they're all afraid they're going to be tweeted and hounded out of their careers by Trump once he leaves, and gets picked up by OAN or whatever news organization are going to take him. I don't think it's going to be Fox. They seem to have finally seen the light on Donald Trump. But it'll be interesting, to say the least, how if the Supreme Court even accept this challenge to be heard. I think not. But it's just every day. It's like some new low point in the American democratic process, and I can't stand seeing this country slide down the tubes like this. What can I say? But I'm gonna just keep playing away here. Okay, that's Spiderweb. This is a song. It's music I gave to the great Joan Osborne, and it's on her album Relish. It kind of derived from a piece of mine that's on my first album, Skeleton at the Feast, called Tompkins Square Dance, which was about the riots in Tompkins Square, the police riots, that were filmed by my friend Clayton Patterson. Here, it all connects. You see, it all adds up, man. It's synchronicity. And I dare say, if the Supreme Court take this case on, and if God help us, they manage to overthrow this election, I don't even want to go there to think what's going to happen in this country. But the fabric of civility is going to be torn irrevocably. Enough said. All right, but on a happier note, I'm so happy to play for you, as always, and can't wait to see you on Saturday. Let's look over the neighborhood. Let's see what's going on. There's those hardworking guys right there putting in, I don't know what's here, a hot tub? What can this be? Caroline, this is, no. Let's see if you can see them. Yeah, there they are. Everything is quiet on the oligarch's building site over here. I think there's supposed to be 2 people, only the guy and his son, occupying this huge mansion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stories high. And yeah, well, that's my neighbor. There's not a lot of people on the street or in my building. Anyway, a lot of them absconded to their second houses after Thanksgiving, so it's awfully quiet, and that's kind of the way I like it. All right, lovely to play for you, and I will see you on Saturday at 3. Love you, and just stay safe. Wear that mask. Wear 2 of them if you can. Okay.